Hey guys, welcome back. I am a big believer in the movie industry, and I certainly don't believe those bears that say the industry is dead. IMAX is one of the larger positions in my account. Since buying in June of 2024, I'm up 55.7% on the position. In this video, I want to go through with you a couple of key thoughts I have after hearing IMAX Q3 earnings last week and some thoughts on the industry as a whole. Let's get right into it. Just a quick look at the dashboard, which I present here to give you guys kind of a visual red, yellow, green of, is this a relatively safe play or not? We have a lot of green. IMAX is performing very, very well on a lot of basic metrics that you should be looking at on any company that you're thinking about investing in, including for IMAX, positive revenue growth, positive earnings and positive expectations for future earnings, a positive cash position, and looking at their debt to equity ratio and their working capital, a strong balance sheet here at IMAX. I know some of y'all are curious about the comparisons between IMAX, Cinemark, and AMC, both on the way the dashboard looks for them and expectations about their share price performance. And if you're interested in seeing that sort of comparison of those three companies after AMC reports their earnings this quarter, or maybe once the year wraps up, let me know down in the comments and I'm happy to do that for you. I see these social media posts and I listen into what the bears have to say from time to time. The movie industry is dead. No one's going to the movies. As we review IMAX's Q3 earnings, I want to start off with what CEO Richard Gelfond had to say about the upcoming year for the movie industry. CEO Rich Gelfond says that as we look forward, we expect 2025 to be our best year ever at the global box office, with more than $1.2 billion in IMAX grosses worldwide. That does not sound like a dying industry to me. In the investor conference call a couple days ago, the CEO went on to say, referencing Q3, the one that just finished, IMAX delivered one of their best third quarters ever at the box office, driven by domestic box office that exceeded 2019 by 45%. I bring this up to you as we start off this video to remind you, if you're listening to people who have a negative attitude about companies in this industry or the industry as a whole, listen to all of the CEOs in the industry. Check out the data yourself and be careful who you're listening to and what their motives are. Just a quick reminder, if you're not familiar with IMAX, they are not your typical movie theater exhibition company. They have a wide variety of products and services, including IMAX film remastering, the film distribution and post-production, IMAX Systems, which is the sale or lease of IMAX to exhibitor customers like AMC or Cinemark, various other companies in Asia and Europe, and their IMAX maintenance program. People might be surprised to learn that only 34% of IMAX's revenue comes from the distribution and exhibition of films. And it is, for me at least, the fact that they have multiple streams of revenue that make them an interesting choice if you're deciding what companies to invest in this sector. Another key differentiator for IMAX is their worldwide footprint. 1,714 commercial locations in 89 countries and territories, including, as you can see on the map here, 795 in China alone. Looking forward into next year, in addition to that expected record-setting box office for IMAX, they are also expecting a record-setting number of filmed in IMAX movies. People making movies with IMAX equipment designed for IMAX screens. Management has the expectation of significant ability to continue to grow the IMAX footprint. Finally, they have been doing share buybacks since 2020, reflecting their confidence in the long-term growth of IMAX and improving shareholder value. Looking at IMAX's results for Q3 on the right hand of the chart here, we can see that their revenue for the quarter Q3 was $91.5 million, yielding a GAAP net income of $13.9 million, a earnings per share of 26 cents, which was an improvement over the same quarter last year. As the box office is expected to continue to grow for the entire industry into 2025 and 2026, you're going to hear folks talking more and more about operating leverage, or how companies can deliver stronger results based on their footprint and that higher box office. And on this slide, IMAX is showing you that higher levels of box office drive predictably higher adjusted EBITDA margin. They have a adjusted EBITDA margin target for 2025 of 40%. Touching on a couple of balance sheet and cash flow items and going in counterclockwise fashion here, we can see that for the year up to September, their operating cash flow was $59 million positive. Cash and liquidity position, they have cash on the balance sheet of $104.5 million. Total liquidity, including a credit facility of $413 million. Leverage position, $230 million of convertible senior notes. They do have capped calls on those convertible notes with a conversion price effectively at $37.27. And finishing up in the top right-hand corner, respective to those convertible notes, they have $231 million of debt coming due in 2026. As I mentioned earlier, IMAX has repurchased 19% of their outstanding shares since 2020. Here in the middle of the chart, we can see that for the fiscal year 2024, they've bought back just over 1.1 million shares, and those were weighted in the first quarter of this year when the share price was lower under pressure due to the Hollywood strikes. Average share repurchase price since 2020 has been $15.24. A share buyback is something, in my view, that you should only expect if the company you're invested in is both operationally profitable and operationally cash flow positive. If you don't have those things yet, let the company continue to work on whatever they're working on, fixing their balance sheet, getting profitable. And when things are good, both on the operational side and the balance sheet side, then you can start looking forward to share buybacks like you see here from IMAX. Things are looking exceptional in 2025, both for the industry as a whole and for IMAX. Here we have on the screen a list of all of the IMAX films or filmed for IMAX films that are planned in the year 2025. I am certainly looking forward to next year, and I hope that you guys are too. Thank you for watching all the way through. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I am Tony Denaro, and I will see ya on the next video.